we've been your job search besties and helped you in some way, there's a cool way you can support the show. Shout us a virtual coffee.
We get a huge kick out of reading all of your success stories. Head to buymeacoffee.com/interviewboss and shout us a cuppa.
If you keep us caffeinated, we can keep the content coming.
Both are going to do a good job. This isn't about one can do it and one can't. We're not discussing here that someone isn't qualified.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Interview Boss. My name is Emma. I'm a radio journalist who's teamed up with my sister to give you advice, inspiration and support when you're looking for a new job. Sarah is a HR and recruitment professional, and together we're here to give you all the tips, tricks and behind the scenes knowledge to help you in your career.
Hey Em, and welcome back everyone. Em, something feels a little bit different on this episode.
It does, because we recently won the business category at the Australian Podcast Awards. We are still buzzing. We can't thank you all enough. You, as our listeners, are the reason that we have made it this far and are being recognised in the industry. So thank you so much to every single listener who has shared, told a friend, given us a review. It means so much.
It does. And we are so excited. We're stoked to be nominated. We mentioned that on the pod a couple of weeks ago, if you're keeping up with things. It's also been all of our socials as well. But we were absolutely over the moon to win a category and go home with the trophy. We had the most fun at the awards night. And that was also the reason that we maybe skipped a week. So apologies for that, but we were busy at the awards night. But now we're back and it's time for our favourite part of the podcast to kick off this episode. It's the Shoot Your Shot Shoutout. This is where we celebrate our listeners who've gone out there, shot their shot and landed a big win or a little win or something in their job search. This week, we're shouting out Cece.
Yes, Cece bought us 10 coffees and said, "The sisters I never had. I moved out of leadership from a toxic company and got a good job with slightly better pay. But after a year and an unsuccessful application for a promotion, I was feeling a bit stagnant. I thought I was in a good position this time around when another leadership opening in my department came up, but I wanted to leave nothing to chance. I'm confident in my employability and skills, but I have ADHD, anxiety and hot mess energy. Sometimes it feels like nobody understands my brain. The content was all somewhat familiar to me, and I'd luckily been preparing for interviews in similar ways, but the podcast and interview academy really helped me not feel alone in the process. You gave me clear strategies, goals, accountability, and permission to calm down. I listened to the Before You Go Into Your Interview episode, literally standing in a power pose in a small room with the air conditioner maxed out and tears welling in my eyes because I was so inspired. My career story sold like hotcakes. The rest of the interview is a blur. I got the promotion and a fatter pay rise than I expected. I can't thank you enough for helping me stay focused."
Oh, that is incredible. The sisters I never had. Cece, that is incredible. Not only did you use the podcast, but also the academy, and we're still so grateful that you shouted us coffees. You are a VIP listener. That is incredible. Promotion and a pay rise, it's ticking all the boxes.
I love that she was familiar with preparing this way, but that's not what helped the most. It was the hand holding and just the breaking it down, because it can be so overwhelming. You might know what you need to do, but doing it is a whole entire different ball game.
And to not get distracted and caught up in the wrong things, and where should you invest your time and what steps should you take? Then once you've done that, what should you do next? All of that kind of stuff is really, really helpful. And like the accountability thing of going, okay, after I watch each thing, I've got a task to do. Sarah's assigned me a task. This is my next activity. Like, I think that really helps break it down.
For sure. If you want results like Cece, you can check out Sarah's one-on-one interview coaching sessions. You can also check out Interview Academy to help you stay focused and help break it down for you. And as always, if you liked one of our episodes, used a tip that we sent you, or want to request an episode specifically on your conundrum or industry, slide into our DMs and we could scroll through and choose you as our next listener to dedicate an episode to. Also, kindly, if you're going to slide into our DMs, please follow us on Insta. I had a hilarious message the other day from a listener that was sending a message and then was like, by the way, don't mind the follow from my burner account. I promise I'm not a bot. And I was like, I love this. You've got a super sleuth secret account to message your Interview Boss podcast because no one can know you're job seeking.
Well, also, if you have multiple accounts, please follow us with the multiple accounts. I love that. Like, it's 2 followers instead of 1.
Yeah, put us in your newsfeed in every single one.
Yeah, that's right.
So good. Now, I am so excited for this episode. We have done a similar little example before, but it's buried at the end of an existing episode that you might scroll past because you might not know that you need that. So we're bringing it back up to the top of our playlist feed. We want to give you a mindset. What would you call it?
It's like a role-playing exercise, I reckon we're kind of calling it. It's a mindset tune-up a little bit, and I think it's going to have some light bulbs popping off in people's heads about choosing great candidates and how relevant feedback is, and this idea of being the best and being the most qualified and ticking every box or trying to change yourself to be what they're looking for. All of those things are going to have light bulb moments in this episode, or that's our goal at least.
Let's do it. So the other episode that we did mention that we have done it in is called You're Not Alone, How to Tackle Rejection in a Job Search. So we will tag that if you'd like to go and listen to it, but we're rehashing.
Yes, and it's new. Like if you've heard that episode, we haven't used the exact same example. It's another version. So if you heard that and you liked it, well, there's more.
Yeah, and it's all about showing you that hiring decisions really can be so subjective depending on a range of factors. And it's not always about being the better candidate, but about just being the right fit for their specific need. So we're hoping you'll be able to see this as we go through. So we're putting you in charge, flipping the script, and we're asking you to choose who you would hire. So Sarah, set the scene.
Okay. I want you to imagine you have an event coming up, but instead of having to deal with all the details yourself and plan the event and actually run it, you've got the chance to hire an expert event planner. How exciting.
Great. Think baby shower, wedding, first birthday, 30th birthday.
And it doesn't matter what it is. In this imaginary scenario, it's a strange competition where this event is completely handled by a professional event planner, completely free, but you have to choose who you're going to work with. I don't know what kind of competition this is, but it's a cool one. You still have to pay for the event and do all the normal things. It's just that you get to work with this event planner. So budget constraints are still relevant, unfortunately, except for paying for the help.
Okay, enough boring details. So
I want you to think about what event you've got coming up. Like Emma said, is it a wedding? Is it a birthday party? Is it a kids event? Is it your family Christmas? Like, come up with what event you've actually got in mind.
Yes. Now, you've got 2 amazing candidates. Both are extremely qualified, but in very different ways. You have to decide as you're listening and we're describing them, who you're going to hire. So the requirements of the role, both of these people are extremely organised, professional, know how to pull off a successful event. They've done this a million times before. Doesn't matter what kind of event it is, they can get it done.
They can both do it. And so we're kind of starting from a perspective of both candidates are very qualified. Both are going to do a good job. This isn't about one can do it and one can't or anything like that. Like they've already gone through maybe a different round, maybe a recruiter has already reviewed all the applications and these are the 2 best, something like that. We're not discussing here that someone isn't qualified. We're going to talk about their differences in a second. Let's hear about our first candidate, Mia. Em, what is Mia like?
She is the creative visionary. She is the one that whips out all the mood boards, the vision boards, the Pinterest boards. She's amazing at creating stunning high-end atmospheres that wow your guests, Instagram-worthy moments, balloon garlands. She's got the aesthetics. She's got a contact list a mile long with all the best vendors and decorators, and she's great at last-minute fixes if something goes wrong on the day. Red wine stain on the dress. She's dialing in you an exact copy. Your mum falls over, your mum falls over and needs stitches, she's racing her off to the emergency department to get her stitched up and no one will even notice.
She's thriving under pressure.
Yes, loves it. Her focus is on the big picture, so she'll make your event unforgettable, but she's not the type to obsess over tiny details. She wants it to be wow as a whole. She thrives under pressure, loves a bit of chaos, but if you're someone who needs daily updates or super detailed timelines, you might find her style a little fast and loose.
Yeah, so if you've got lots and lots of things that you want to get through in the event, maybe that's not the right fit. Like if you've got heaps that you need to cram in and you need to organize it all in a timeline, potentially not. But also if you've got like, something really cool, you want it to be memorable, you want the photo booth or the 360 camera or the whatever, she might know all of the coolest places. Or venue choices. I feel like she'd thrive on venue choices. Okay.
Interview Academy might be the perfect thing you're looking for. Interview Academy is a course Sarah has been working on after delivering hundreds of interview coaching sessions and getting incredible results.
But unfortunately, I'm only one gal living in an Aussie time zone who works a day job, and all of that mean I can't help everyone one-on-one, which drove me crazy.
So for over a year, Sarah's been working on turning all of those amazing lessons into an on-demand, step-by-step interview prep course. We hold your hand through the entire thing,
and you can do it at home in your own time and get instant access right now. Check it out at interviewboss.com.au/interview-academy. The link is in the show notes. Now we're going to hear about Alex. Tell us about Alex.
Okay, Alex is all about the details. She's so organised, loves planning and logistics. If you could only see the binders and diaries that she brings along, colour coordinated, every detail will be handled with precision. She's amazing at staying on budget and making sure everything runs exactly on time. If you need spreadsheets, timelines, cost-saving strategies, Alex is your go-to. Alex is all about structure and predictability, reliable. She might not give you that over-the-top wow factor, but you'll know everything is running like a well-oiled machine.
Yes. And can we think about some types of things that might work really, really well with Alex? Well, I think if you've got heaps of speeches to get through, they need to be down to a specific thing. You've got people submitting them beforehand.
The Excel spreadsheet of what vendors have been paid yet, what hasn't, what's still to be done, delegating the to-do list to each family member leading into the big event.
Exactly what each person was told. Like we're planning far ahead, and potentially where Mia thrives under pressure and is able to fix something on the fly, maybe Alex has planned ahead and thought of that before it even goes wrong in the first place, like has prevented the disaster from coming up. Very different candidates, right? Like if you're absolutely penny pinching and on a budget, remember you get the planner for free, but you still have to pay for the event. So maybe she can help you save some money, and maybe that's a really key factor for you. So think about your event, you in your local area with all the people that you want to come, and your event, who is the better fit? Who are you going to pick? What event are you going to hire for, and who are you picking?
Oh, it's so hard. I think I'm going for Mia, purely because I am not a big detail lover. I don't care to get down in the details. I just want it to be epic and great and fun, and I want the vision. So I think even though I'm so impressed with Alex and like the thought of her doing a spreadsheet and saving me all this money is amazing, but I don't think it would be appreciated as much with me as it would for someone else out there. So I think I'm going to go with Mia.
And what event is it for?
Friendsmas.
Oh, okay. Yep. And like it's Friendsmas. If something goes wrong, whatever.
Yeah.
That's kind of the fun part. Like it's going to be more memorable if there's big moments and cool, memorable stuff. Whereas I am part of organising our company Christmas party. And I know that sounds weird to like use a free planner to do that, but that would be very handy. I could just not organise that anymore. And having all of those details and the budget and the plans and all of it, everything thought out in advance, game changer. Like I don't want to be chasing the caterer to work out the dietary requirements and all the list of people and the RSVP list and like double checking with people that they're coming and where's the photographer and are they sending the photos through and are they going to get paid and all this sort of stuff. Would love for someone to handle all of that. Incredible.
So who are you choosing?
So I'm choosing Alex.
Right.
Sorry, I thought that was obvious.
You didn't say the words.
Yes, no, I didn't. Now, I want you guys to think about, as you're listening to this, who are you choosing? Both candidates are qualified, but your decision depends on your event. So I'm hoping that there's already been some light bulb moments, but what are we taking from this exercise, Em?
Well, it's going to be different. Everyone's going to have a different answer. And there really is no such thing as a perfect candidate. It's just the right person for that specific role and situation and time in the business.
Yeah. And if you were the kind of person that already has come up with the really cool concept for Friendsmas, you're like, well, having someone else do that isn't going to be that helpful. Like, I've already come up with a concept. I just need someone to execute my plan to the letter. Then that might change what you're after. So it's like, it's a combination of your event, but also your own strengths and capabilities and what's already done so far and who else has got that capability elsewhere in the team. You know, we're translating this a little bit.
For example, Mia might be ideal for someone that's planning a glamorous wedding, but Alex might shine better if it's a corporate event with a tight budget and strict schedule. Neither is better. They're just more suitable for different scenarios. It's just about the fit.
Yeah. And here's what I want people to think about. Let's imagine you were Mia and you didn't get chosen. That doesn't mean you're not the perfect choice for the next person who does want to choose Mia for her creative flair, because that's exactly what they're looking for. And let's imagine Mia didn't get the job and then she asks for feedback. Oh, can you please let me know? Like, I was really excited about this role. Like, what was it that meant that you didn't choose me? And they said, oh, we were looking for someone more detail oriented. Imagine she's devastated by that and thinks, oh my God, I'm not good enough. Like, I'm not detail oriented enough. Well, actually, that's not the case at all, because we know that they're both very qualified. We know that Mia could do the job just as well as Alex could. It's about the fit and not about you being unqualified. So that's kind of also why I think about feedback, and I think it's not necessarily something that you want to turn your whole life around because if Mia goes out and becomes more detail oriented and does more spreadsheets and all these kinds of things, well, that's not going to make her compete with Alex. They're probably still going to hire Alex because that stuff is really natural to her and something that she absolutely thrives in, compared to Mia, who should kind of go for the roles where someone's going to value exactly what she already has.
It would feel impossible to give Mia feedback if she asked for it, because nothing, it's not you. I know that sounds cliche, but there's nothing that you're lacking per se. Just for my niche situation, I want Alex.
Yes, exactly. Right. And so this is the other thing, that I've been in this situation on the other side, where sometimes someone asks, hey, can you give me some feedback? And there are actually things you can point to. Majority of the time, there's nothing that you can say, because there's nothing that they did in the interview that turned you off. It's just, we picked this person for this person's reasons.
Which is clarifying. If any people out there have ever asked for feedback and not really gotten an answer, or maybe it's not because, they just couldn't even be bothered to give me feedback. It's because they don't know what to say, because you can't even sum up the reason why, because it's not because there's a flaw or a fault within you.
Yes, exactly. Add to that, we should do an episode on hesitations to give feedback, because I've had people try and argue with me on why they do have that skill and why they are really detail oriented. And you're like, that's not why I told you, so that we could debate about whether you do or don't have those skills. But I think this scenario also translates to some of our other advice as well. So let's say you chose Mia because you wanted the big wow moments. And let's say Alex has actually done some of those big wow moments in the past, but she didn't talk about any of them in her interview. And so they didn't get the sense that she knew how to do any of that. Maybe she used different examples and she kept relying on this stuff that she'd done, where it was really structured and really time-based and very detail-oriented and organised. But she has done these really cool concepts and been a bit more creative before. Well, that's where we would bring in your interview skills, because if you're Alex in that scenario, you could have been the best of both worlds, because you've done both of those things. And you want to make sure that you're doing yourself justice and covering all of that breadth of skill, so that when they're making this choice about, what someone's strengths and weaknesses and what they're good at and what they're not, that they're seeing you for what you actually are.
Yeah. So we hope you understand our point. The examples might not always be this dramatic, but it's a good mindset shift. We had a lot of light bulbs go off last time, and it's important to just keep in mind, if this was you and you were asked to pick someone, it's just because someone stood out to you with their specific skill set. It's not because the other person didn't.
Yes, exactly. Because you have to choose one person. I think that's what we can kind of forget in the interview process. We're not selecting, are they suitable or are they not? Are they qualified or are they not? Kind of like a degree. We're like, well, everybody can get the degree. You're all qualified. You can only pick one person. And so if you were going to pick Alex, but Alex didn't exist, you would hire Mia because she's great, and you would hire her and it would work and it would be great. But because you had the option, you're going to pick Alex because there's certain circumstances that mean that that's going to be an easier fit. And maybe you've got a creative genius on the team already, or maybe you've got the details person on the team already. You're thinking about all these different things. Maybe they're different budgets for both of them in terms of the spend that you've got and the seniority level of each of them. That's going to factor in as well. There are so many different things you're tossing up. It's the overall person and the overall decision that they're picking based on. Now, we would love to hear who you picked, who you hired. Was it Mia or was it Alex? Drop us a comment or a message. We're going to have our comments turned on Spotify. We would love it if you would let us know, or drop us a note on an Instagram post or a DM. We want to hear what you thought about this episode.
Yeah, if you've ever missed out on a job, I hope this makes you feel a little bit better and is a good mindset shift for you.
Thanks so much for listening to Interview Boss. If you like hearing the sound of our voices, follow us on Apple or Spotify, or better yet, tell someone else about our show. That's how we can hit the charts, win more awards, and we can help even more people around the world. For more advice, inspiration, and some fun content, check us out on Instagram at Interview Boss and chuck us a follow. Can you believe we started Interview Boss in 2021?
Not really. It's insane. That's a lot of episodes and a lot of hours of talking.
Oh my gosh, it is. And if you're scrolling through all of our episodes, you might scroll straight past something that you really, really needed.
Yes, we're always getting messages from people asking us to do an episode on something, and I'm like, we already have.
So we've put together playlists to help you find the episodes that are exactly what you need, suited to your situation.
They're all categorized. If you're applying for jobs, we have episodes about resumes, cover letters, job ads. If you've been offered your dream job, we have episodes on resigning, exit interviews, and how to impress at your new company.
And we even have a very special playlist that's very popular for if you have an interview coming up immediately and you need just our most recommended hard-hitting episodes between now and then.
For all our last-minute listeners. It's all there for you. You can browse by category and check out all the playlists at interviewboss.com.au/podcast.